Are you tired of feeling stuck in your job you hate and dreaming of financial freedom? You are not alone. Research shows that a whopping 70% of Americans dislike their jobs. However, getting out of that rat's race and achieving financial freedom can be challenging, especially if you're making common financial mistakes. In this video, we'll explore the 7 financial sins that could be holding you back and provide practical tips to help you avoid them. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button to be notified when we release our weekly videos. Let's start working towards financial freedom. Number 1. Most people do not plan their finances. Many people get their paycheck and start paying their dues, their groceries, and a few other things and hope they have enough money left over at the end of the month. If you plan your savings, living costs, and spending budget ahead of time, you will have more control over your money and will not spend more than you need to. Most people do not have a clear idea of where their money is going, and in many cases, people overestimate how much they actually have in their bank accounts when they're making a purchase. So, I want to give you a challenge. For the next 30 days, check your bank account every day. Sometimes, it might not look pretty, but you will be much more conscious of what you have and where your money goes. And it will help you make the decision whether you should buy those $85 sunglasses or not. When you actively manage your own money, you become better at it. And you'll be more prepared and much more effective when you get the opportunity to manage more money. Number 2. Buying with consumer credit. CNBC says that consumers owe more than $747 billion in credit card debt. On average, that is more than $16,000 for each person with a credit card. Now, using credit cards has a few benefits, such as helping you build your credit score, which is very important. Many cards have insurance that covers them in case they are stolen or lost, and they may also come with perks like cashback, miles for airline, and points that can be exchanged for something else. But if you do not use credit cards in the right way, they can hurt your money in a big way. This is because people tend to spend more money than they have when they use credit cards. You can spend $1,000 if you have $100 in your pocket. Since you do not have to pay back the whole amount at once, it is much easier to go over your budget. As was said before, not planning your money can lead to overspending, which is bad for your finances. But overspending on consumer credits is even worse. This is because interest rates on credit cards are very high, ranging from 8% to 30% per month. Number 3. Making minimum payments on a credit card. So, my friend Jerry here owes $5,000 on his credit cards with a 16% interest rate. The minimum payment is $350, which he is happy to pay because it does not take up much of his paycheck. Jerry has not done the math, so he does not know that just the interest adds $800 to his debt. And even though he makes payments every month, his debt keeps growing, which means that his interest also grows. Soon enough, Jerry has more debt than he can handle. Consider it, credit card rates are very high. The average interest rate on credit cards for consumers is more than 15%. So let's say that we have $1,000 in credit card debt and we pay the minimum payment of $50. We get charged $150 in interest, but only pay $50. Now we have $1,100 in debt. Next month, we will pay the minimum $50, but we will have to pay an extra $165 in interest because our debt is now $1,250 and has grown again. If we keep doing this, the interest rate fee will add up over time, making our debts too big to pay. Number 4. Not saving for retirement or financial freedom. Many people who save money put it away for a rainy day or to buy cool toys, but not many save for their retirement or to be financially independent. Think about it. You might be young and able to make money now, but you might not be able to do that forever. With Social Security failing, you cannot just leave this responsibility to the government or even to your children. You are responsible for your retirement and financial freedom, and even not much. A small amount counts, especially if you put it to work and have investments that grow over time. Think about it. If you invest $100 per month and get a 7% return after taxes and fees, you will have more than $167,000 in 35 years. Even with just $100 a month, starting to invest is a good idea. The more often, the better. Number 5. Making money decisions based on emotion. When we make financial decisions based on how we feel, we put ourselves in a very vulnerable position. Because when we are feeling very emotional, our thinking is not as strategic or logical, and we are more likely to make mistakes. This can be both a good and a bad feeling. If we are happy and optimistic to the point of being manic, we might make investments that seem like great ideas and quick ways to make money until you start to think about them logically. Or, if we're in a negative state, we tend to be very unpredictable. So, do not make important decisions right after a big event that changes how you feel. This will help you make decisions based on your intelligence and logic instead of your feelings, which will make you much smarter with your money. Thinking about an example, Steve Jobs comes to mind. Because he was angry about getting fired from Apple, he gave up all of his shares in the business. He got a few shares back in the end, but only had 0.6% of the company left, which still has a value of about $1.8 billion. But if he had not made a decision based on how he felt, he would have kept more than $66 billion worth of Apple. Number 6. Focusing too much on money and neglecting the process. Very rich and successful people like Richard Branson, Oprah, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, and many others have the same philosophy. You have to love the process. You've got to be passionate. According to Richard Branson, it is better to stay out of business if your only goal is to make money. One of the things that I'm sure you must have noticed is that when you try to go for the money while neglecting and disrespecting the process, you end up losing. For example, if you have a business but no interest in creating a relationship with your customers, you can make a quick sell, but you'll be missing out on a lifetime of business by neglecting this process. Number 7. Not educating ourselves financially. Money is a subject that is typically not covered in school, and many of our parents did not have significant wealth themselves. Consequently, it is up to each individual to take responsibility for learning about personal finance and how to manage and expand their financial resources. Ignoring this crucial area of knowledge can result in the lack of financial education, making it less likely for us to achieve financial independence. Alright guys, let me know if you agree with this list, and if I'm missing anything, let us know in the comments. If you are currently on the path to attaining financial freedom, I'd love to learn about your approach and principles. Your insights are always valuable to me. Thanks for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.